Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Wine by the Bay TV. I'm your host, George Bachara. As always, our show is sponsored by the Goosehead Insurance Company, the Bachara Agency, my agency. We do home, we do car, we do life, we do pretty much anything you have except health insurance because that's a little too complicated in California. But if you have insurance needs, and everybody does, go down to the description box, follow the link below, and let's set up a time to talk, and I will figure out what you need. We'll get it for you at the best price and make sure that you're actually paying for something that you need rather than something that will let you down in the end. So that was business. We are now on episode number 6. Episode 6, can you believe it? We are out of the holidays. There's no more Santa Claus. There's no more Christmas decorations around. But I do have my little wine trophy here, and we'll go into that another time. But I did want to go ahead and introduce the 2 wines that we're going to do today. The first one is the Olema Chardonnay from Napa County up in California, obviously, northern part of California. And then we're going back to Argentina, same producer that we did last time. We have the Mascota Vineyards, the Unanime, 2017. This one's a Malbec this time rather than the Tinta that we did the last time. It's a really good wine from the reviews. I haven't tasted it yet, obviously. As always, our wines are open a couple hours ahead of time so they get a chance to breathe. And then not too cold, not too hot, especially the Chardonnay, not too cold. So we're going to start off right away with our white wine, our Chardonnay, and we'll get right into it. I'm kind of excited to do a post-holiday episode. Holidays are lousy in the restaurant business, but they're really good in the insurance business because you get a lot of days off. But in the restaurant business, you work extra hard. So this holiday's been really good for me, but I'm going to give this a shot. So let's see. We have the Olema Chardonnay from Sonoma County. Interesting. I'm afraid this one might be a little oaky, which I have been lucky and have not been able to get my hands on. Not much nose, to be honest with you. It's a little tight, which is concerning. This one, by the way, got 93 points, James Suckling. I got a total wine for $19.99. Maybe a little bit of pear. Just a little bit. I'm not getting much, to be quite honest with you. Like I say, I'm concerned that there's a little bit of oak in here, like too much oak. I'm getting a little bit of wet tree bark. Well, let's give it a shot and see what happens. I wouldn't go so far as to say over oaked, but there's definitely an oak undertone to it. There isn't much to this wine at all as far as I'm concerned. I'll be quite honest with you, it's pretty flat. I was checking the label because there were some 2020s, and I thought I might have picked up a 2020 by accident. The 2019 got 93 points. I can't for the life of me figure out why. There's a little bit of butter. I mean, I'm kind of searching for it almost. It's just acidic. I mean, not overly acidic. It's really nothing. It's just kind of there. It just sits there and bees Chardonnay. And I know that sounds ridiculous, but that's really the only one who can describe it. It's just Chardonnay. I mean, I wouldn't pay $20 for that. There's nothing to it. The only reason why you'd pay $20 is you don't want something offensive. It's not offensive, but it's nothing to write home about. As I'm talking to you, a little bit of butter is coming in, like about, I don't know, a minute after I drank it, which I guess is something. But I'm still tasting a little acidity, a slight bit of oak. I mean, there really isn't much to this wine. It's boring. It's flat. I wouldn't give it 93 points, and I wouldn't spend $20 on it either. I mean, this is a $10 wine. This is like a really good $10 wine. Frankly, if you watched one of the previous episodes, we did the Kendall Jackson. I thought the Kendall Jackson was better, and I thought I'd never ever say that about anything, unless we're talking about, I don't know, that kangaroo one, whatever the heck it is with the feet. Yeah, so this Olema is pretty boring. 93 points, no way. James Suckling, you're out of your mind. I don't know what you were smoking the day that you rated this wine, but that's 88 points. Just kind of sits there, and it's boring, and yeah, no. And that's the label. Avoid this wine for $20. If you see it for $10, better. If you see it $7.99 on sale, buy something. That's fine. You can give it to the dog when they don't want to drink water. But this is not a very good wine. I'll be honest with you. And I better be honest with you because that's what you come here for. All right, that was a big disappointment, that Olema Chardonnay. Okay, now we're into the meat and potatoes. We have the Unanime. Okay, 2017 Malbec from Argentina, from Mendoza. Again, high elevation, dry climate, which is very conducive to red grapes. And this one has a lot of garnet. It's a little darker than the Tinta was that we tried last week, which I personally like. Let's see. So 94 points, James Suckling. $24.99 a total wine. So $25. Not ridiculously priced. Argentina is starting to get more expensive. But I have to say that it's not out of control yet. And you can find some really good Argentinian wines at reasonable prices, sub $35, sub $40. That'll give you a lot of bang for your buck. I don't know if this is it. We'll find out in a moment. But that's the bottle. And let's give it a try. And like I said, I like the color right away. It's nice and dark. It's not pitch black, but it's definitely a dark garnet color. Got a lot of red. It's got a little funk to it. The nose is kind of closed. It's got some funk. I'm not getting any fruit on the nose. I'm getting that funky kind of almost wet sock, or not wet sock, but like laundry that maybe you left in the washing machine too long. And then it dries and it has like a kind of a weird kind of smell to it. Like a sulfur kind of thing, but not like a burned match, just like sulfur. I know I'm really selling this wine hard, right? That's not good. Let me see if I can clear my nose and give it one more try before I give it a taste. It's getting a little better. Maybe I'm just getting used to the sulfur smell. A little bit of the, maybe a little undertone of blueberries coming through now. I'm curious to taste it and see. A lot of times, what you get on the nose and what you get on the palate are very, very different. So let's see what we got. I'm going to keep an open mind with this one, and let's see where we go. There's much more fruit on the attack than I got in the nose. I got almost no fruit on the nose. So that's encouraging. I remember thinking on the Tinta that there was no mid palate. This isn't a strong mid palate, but there's a lot more mid palate to this. It doesn't just kind of go away and then come back. There's definitely a blueberry, not a fresh blueberry, almost like a blueberry pie component, but not overly sweet. It's like a compote of some kind. It's tough to describe. Yeah, that sulfur taste is the sulfur smell, I should say, has definitely dissipated. It's still there, but it's much less pronounced. So let's try this again. This is definitely, I would think this wine is a lot younger. It doesn't have any sophistication to it. It's a very nice wine. It drinks nicely. And again, it doesn't kind of disappear and come back like the Tinta did. The Tinta had a nice attack, then it kind of went away, and then it kind of came roaring back on the back end. There isn't a whole lot of finish here. There's nothing in the back of my palate, on the back of my tongue, that's getting any kind of sensation. So it's really all in the front, and then it kind of fades a little bit in the middle, and then it just goes away. $20. Sorry, $25. $25. I mean, I've tasted worse for $25. I'll tell you that. This is a decent wine. I like the Tinta better personally for $20, but at $25, I mean, it's a good wine. It's drinkable. It has a little bit of interesting stuff going on, but nothing too much. It's a very one note or one and a half note, I guess, kind of wine. It drinks easy. It would go good with dinner. But I wouldn't run to buy this wine. If I saw it in a store and I didn't have a better idea, I would probably go this route. 94 points, no chance. 91 points. I would say it's about 91 points. 91. Yeah, I mean, it's good, but it's not great. You can drink it, but you're not really like super excited. It's just, this is a good party wine because it doesn't draw your attention away from the people you're talking to. It just kind of exists. You drink it, it's good. You could have an appetizer with it. You could have like a little crostini with steak or something on it if you were passing hors d'oeuvres, and this would be fine. But to like sit down and appreciate this wine, that's not going to happen. Yeah, and I would say for 94 points, there better be some appreciation, and there is not. So decent for the price, but nothing to write home about. So this is the Unanime, and this is the Olema. Olema, frankly, was a big disappointment. Again, not offensive, but considering its rating, I was kind of hoping for more. So I would say this is like a C plus choice. I know I'm not a teacher or anything, and frankly, I wouldn't want to be. I'm not as good with kids as I probably should be if I was going to be a teacher. But yeah, like you write a paper. It was all right. It's not your best effort, and this is definitely not your best effort on either case. I would definitely drink the red over the white. And again, I'm not a big white person, so that might have something to do with it. But they were both kind of flat. The Chardonnay was really flat. The Chardonnay was boring. The Chardonnay is forgettable. The Malbec wasn't bad. Like I said, I wouldn't run to it. But I mean, I can find you a $16 bottle of wine or an $18 bottle of wine. That's as good as this. So it's kind of overpriced in my opinion. If you dig a little bit, you can find better, or I should say better price. But yeah, it just is what it is. So I am George with Wine by the Bay TV, and we'll see you again next time.